This afternoon, I am having sample objective questions for my BECA candidates. WASI candidates too can also learn, because all these are topics for the senior high school students too. So question 1. Two sets which have no common members are known as A. Equal sets, B. Intersecting sets, C. Empty sets, D. Disjoint sets. When we talk of equal sets have the same elements. Like if I have set A, 2, 3, 5. Set B2 can have 5, 3, 2. You see, we have the same members. These are equal sets. B. Intersecting sets. If you talk of intersecting sets, if I give two sets as C is equal to 2, 3, 8, and D is equal to 2, 3. If you are asked to find C intersection D, it means we want a number that occurs at C and also D. That is an intersecting set. Empty set has no member in the set. This is empty set. And this is disjoint set. Disjoint set, they have no common members. So the answer is D. Disjoint sets. A set which have no common members. I'm underlining my answers. I'm underlining them. 2. P is equal to 3, 5, 8, 9, 10. And Q is equal to 3, 5, 8. Find P intersection Q. P intersection Q means numbers that occur at P and also Q. So we have 3 here, 3 here. We have 5 here, 5 here. We are having 8 here, 8 here. So it's 3, 5, 8. Our answer is C. So question 1 and question 2 is on sets. Take note. Question 3. State the property used in the statement P bracket Q plus R equals to PQ plus bracket PR. This is the same as P times bracket Q plus R. And as I said, always if it involves 2 operations and 3 numbers, it is distributive property. The combination of 2 operations, that's multiplication and addition, is distributive property. For associative, it involves 3 numbers but the same operation. And for identity, when we talk of identity, whenever a number is added to 0, it's equal to the same number. Or A plus 0 is what? A. And that's not identity. So our answer is distributive, because this involves multiplication and addition. C. 4. The total number of goals scored each month by a football team are 3, 4, 8, 4, 2, 4, 6, 4, 6, 8, 7, and 6. What is the mode? This is a raw data. And when we talk of mode, we are talking of the highest number that occurs most here. Now, let us count how many times 3 occurred here. We have 1. So 3 occurred once here. Let's take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 is 1, 4, 2 is 4. Let's take 2. 2 is also what? 1. Let's take 6. 1, 2, 3. 6 is what? 3. And 8 is what? 1, 2. 8 is 1, 2. So our answer is 4. 4 is occurring 4 many times. This means it's the mode. Is the mode. Question 5. Expand the expression 4 bracket 3a minus 2b. This is under algebraic expression. So we have 4, 3a minus 2b, and if you are given something like this in mathematics, it means you should remove your brackets. So 4 times 3a, we have 12a, minus 4 times 2b, we have 8b. So it's 12a minus 8b. The answer is C. A bag contains 5 black and 7 white balls. What is the probability of picking a black ball? This is under probability. And for probability is the number of events over number of sample space. That's the formula. Now you should know the total sample space. And the total sample space we have 5 plus 7, which is 12. You add the black balls to the white balls, it will give you 12. Now we want the probability of picking a black ball. So probability of picking a black ball, let B denote black ball. So what is the number of black balls? It's what? 5. Over the total outcome is what? 12. And for probability, we reduce it to its lowest term. Can we reduce this to its lowest term? No. There is no number or there is no common divisor. So our answer is A. Question 7. What is the image of 5 in the mapping? S maps to 4x plus 2. If we have S maps to 4x plus 2, we have our x to be what? 5. So 4, 5 plus 2. So 4 times 5 is what? 20 plus 2. We have 22. So it's just the formula. If even they give you half x plus 3, you just put in 5 and you just what? Work it. You just follow the formula. So the answer is B. Is B. Question 8 is under angles. In the diagram below, PQR is an isosceles triangle. PQ is equal to PR. This line is equal to this line. Angle QPR is equal to 40 degrees. And QRS is a straight line. This is the straight line. Find angle PRS. We want this angle. Now, to get this angle, we know this type of triangle is an isosceles triangle, because for isosceles triangle, it has 2 base angles to be equal. And for us to get these base angles to be equal, you choose a variable. Now, I will use variable A. I will put my A here and A here. So I will add this A to this A plus 40 equal to 180. Because the sum of interior angle for a triangle is 180 degrees. So you see where I started working. So you should choose a variable, and after that, you solving for A, you will be able to solve for this angle. So it becomes A plus 40 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So 2A, because in mass, the coefficient of a variable is 1, but we don't write. 2A plus 40 degrees equal to 180 degrees. So 2A, you group like terms, 180 minus 40. We have 2A is equal to 140 degrees. You divide both by 2. So A is equal to 70 degrees. We have A to be 70 degrees. Now, we want angle PRS. Angle PRS. So this is what you do. Angle PRS. So to get angle PRS, it is angle PRQ plus angle PRS is equal to 180 degrees, because this is a straight angle, and angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Now what is PRQ? We know PRQ to be 70 degrees plus, but we don't know PRS. Angle PRS equal to 180 degrees. So angle PRS is equal to 180. You move this one to the right hand side, minus 70 degrees. So angle PRS, we have 110 degrees. Our answer is D. Question 9. This is standard form. Write in standard form. You see, this time they didn't give you any point in this number. Always for standard form, whenever we count our decimal places to the right, the power becomes negative. The power is negative. But once we count the decimal place to the left, our power is positive. Take note. And always for standard form is between the first and the second number, but it should be after the non-zero digits. Take note. It should be after the non-zero digits. So you see we have 2, 3, 7, 8. And this one, it should be in between this 2 and this 3. So you start counting from right to left. So 1, 2, 3. So it's 2.378 times 10 raised to the power 3. Because I said always if you are counting to the left, the power is what? Positive. So the answer is 2.378 times 10 raised to the power 3. Also, if I give you something like this, 132.896, you see I've given this to you and I've asked you to change this one to standard form. And to change this one to standard form, it should be in between the first and the second number. Now, what is the first and the second number? It's 1 and 3, but it should be after the non-zero digits. And we don't have any 0 here. And for 0, what I mean is that once it's in between this one, you can count. So you count from right to left. So 1, 2, between the first and the second. So it becomes 1.32896 times 10 power 2. We are counting to the left, so the power is positive. So if you are given 0.001936, change this one to standard form. You see I said it should be after the non-zero digit. So we have 1, 2, 3. After the non-zero digits, this is where the point should be. So we have 1.936 times 10 raised to the power negative 3. Because once you are counting to the right, I said the power is what? Negative. Take note. Question 10 is on number basis or numeration system. Change 1011 base 2 to decimal, and base 2 is the same as binary. And decimal is the same as base 10. Take note. It's not difficult if you meet a question like this. So to change this to decimal, this is what you do. You multiply this one by the base. So it becomes 1 times 2 plus 0 times 2 plus 1 times 2 plus 1 times 2. So you start naming the powers from right to left, but you start from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. We have 1 times 2 raised to the power 3 is the same as 2 times 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 we have 8. Plus 0 times 2 raised to the power 2 is 4. Plus 1 times 2 raised to the power 1 is 2. Plus 1 times any number raised to the power 0 is 1. Let's take note. Any number in 1 billion raised to the power 0 is 1. So 1 times 8 is 8. Plus 0 times 4, 0. Plus 1 times 2, we have 2. Plus 1 times 1 is 1. So 8 plus 0 is 8. Plus 2, 10. Plus 1 is what? 11. So our answer is 11. This is in base 10. So they can ask you to change this to base 10. They just wanted to trick you. Base 10 is the same as decimal, as I said. 11. Simplify 2 times 3 raised to the power 2 times 3 raised to the power 4. This topic can be under algebraic expression and also under indices. Take note. So we have 2 times 3 power 2 times 3 power 4. And always if they give you a base like this without power, the assumption is that always we have here as power 1. Take note. So we have 3 power 2 times 3 power 4. And for indices, if the bases are the same and they are multiplying, we add the powers. So it becomes 3 power 2 plus 4. So 2 times 3 power 6. Our answer is C. The answer is C. Now question 12. This question is on vectors. Given that A is equal to -2, 4 and B is equal to 1, 3. So A, -2, 4 and we have B as 1, 3. You have been asked to find 2A minus B. This is subtraction of vectors. We have 2, -2, 4 minus 1, 3. And this number will multiply all the numbers in the brackets. So 2 times -2 is -4. 2 times 4 we have 8 minus 1, 3. So we have -4 minus 1, 8 minus 3. So -4 minus 1 we have -5. 8 minus 3 2 we have 5. So our answer is D. Our answer for this question we have D. Now the diagram below shows a circle with center O. S and T are points on the circle. Use it to answer questions 13 and 14. This is on mensuration 1, or for the junior high school is on length and shape. Let me use this opportunity to explain circle, the paths of a circle. If you use your compass and pencil to draw a circle, you see this is your center. Let me name this portion O. O is my center. And when we talk of circumference, circumference is the circular part of a circle. The circular part of a circle, we call it circumference. Take note. And also, any part of a circle, any part of a circle is an arc. Any part of a circle is an arc. And a line drawn to touch two parts of the circle, we call it chord. If I draw a line like this, you see it is touching one part and also one part. We call this line chord. This is a chord. This is a chord. So line AB. Line AB, I call it chord. And also a chord that passes through the center, we call it diameter. A chord that passes through the center, we call it diameter. And we know half of diameter. Half of diameter is radius or radii. Half of diameter is radius or radii. Or you can define radius as any point drawn from the center to touch any part of the circle. I repeat it again. Radius is any point drawn from the center to touch any part of the circle. So this is another radius. Let's take sector. When we talk of sector, it's two radii. If you draw two radii to touch two parts of the circle, the shaded part, this is a sector. We call this sector. So we have the major sector and the minor sector. If I draw my circle like this, and if I draw something like this, this is a minor sector and this is the major sector. So OAB. OAB is the minor sector. Minor sector. And this part is the major sector. And also 1/4 of a circle. 1/4 of a circle. 1/4 of a circle is a quadrant. 1/4 of a circle. If I divide my circle into 4 equal parts, if you take one part, we call it what? Quadrant. We call it quadrant. And also, we have segments. We have segments. Once I draw my circle like this, and this, we know this is diameter. This is a segment. This is a segment. And always, if a circle is divided into two main equal parts, we call it semicircle. We call it semicircle. I believe I have explained the parts of a circle. I just wanted you to get the brief understanding. So let's come back to our question. We are now having two radii touching two parts of the circle, and the shaded part is the sector. Always take note that a chord divides the circle into two equal parts called segments. I repeat again. A chord divides a circle into two equal parts called segments. The line ST is called ST. It is called because we said a line drawn to touch two parts of the circle. We call it what? Chord. We call it chord. Question 15. The figure above is the net of. This is not cylinder, no. Triangle, no. Pyramid, no. It's a cone. It's a cone. Because cylinder, we have cylinder as this. It's a cone. 16. X is equal to 1, 2, 3, 8, 10. And y is equal to 8, 1, x, 3, 2. If x is equal to y, this implies an equal set. We have different types of sets. We have universal sets, empty sets, disjoint sets. There are so many. Union sets. What is the value of x? Now, you see they are saying the members here are equal to the members here. We have 1 here, 1 here, 8 here, 8 here. We have 2 here, 2 here, 3 here, 3 here. What is missing here is what? 10. 10 is missing in this set. So the answer is A. The answer is A. Question 17. Factorize 3r squared s minus 9r s squared. Always factorization, the common ones come outside and the non-common ones appear in the bracket. This is under algebraic expression. Factorization, you always get a question of it. Take note, my dear students. So we have 3r squared s minus 9r s squared. Now, what is the common ones that should come outside the bracket? We have r, we have s, rs, they are what? Common. And also 3 and 9. You see 3 is divisible by what? 9. So we have 3rs to be what? Common. You see r is occurring how many times? 2 times. So you bring 1r. But here s occurred once. That's why I brought my s here. Because we see r squared s minus rs squared. So rs is common. And also 3 goes into 9. minus 3 goes into 9, how many times? 3. R is 1 here, it's already here. So S is left with what? 1. So we have 3RS, R minus 3S. So our answer, we have C. We have C. Question 18. Given the relation 1 over y is equal to 1 over c plus 1 over x, comma, which of the following expression is equal to y? Is the same as make y the subject. They are just confusing you. Make y the subject of the relation. Now they have given you 1 over y is equal to 1 over c plus 1 over x. And always I say, if you are given a question like this, you choose all the letters as your LCM, so it's y, c, x. After you getting your LCM, you multiply through by the LCM. We have 3 terms here. This is one term, this is also another term, and this is also another term. So it becomes ycx times 1 over y equal to ycx times 1 over c plus ycx times 1 over x. This will cancel this. We want to eliminate the fraction. This will cancel this, and x will cancel x. It's left with cx, because cx times 1 is cx, equal to y times x. We have yx. We have yx times 1, which is yx, plus yc. So we have this, and they are saying which of the following expression is equal to y. We want to make y the subject. So you factorize. So y out, it becomes x plus c. You divide 2 by s plus c, get 2 by s plus c. We have our y as cx over s plus c. So what is our answer? Our answer is D. Even though they wrote c plus x is the same as s plus c. Take note. 19. A square of side 6 centimeters has the same area as a rectangle of length 9 centimeters. Find the breadth of the rectangle. This is under mensuration 1, or for the junior high school is under length and shapes. So you see, they are saying the area of the square is the same as area of the rectangle. And we know a square, the area of a square is what? L times L, which is length times length. They have given you the side of a square as 6 centimeters. So it becomes 6 centimeters times 6 centimeters. We have 36 centimeters square. Once the area of the square is 36 centimeters square, this means the area of the rectangle too is what? 36 centimeters square. Because they are saying they are having the same area. And now they are giving the length of the rectangle as 9 centimeters. Length of rectangle as 9 centimeters. Find the breadth of the rectangle. We know the area of a rectangle as length times breadth. And the area of this square is the same as area of the rectangle. So we have 36 here. Equal to, what is the length? So 36 centimeters square. What is the length? Our length is 9 centimeters times what? B. So we have 36 centimeters square is equal to 9 centimeters B. We want B, so we divide through by 9 centimeters. We divide here by 9 centimeters. So this will cancel this. 9 goes here 1, 9 goes here 4. We have B as 4 centimeters. Our breadth is 4 centimeters. So always mensuration, they can combine some of the plane figures. Take note. You see this time they are combined square and rectangle. So if you don't know how to tackle the question, you cannot solve it. So take note. Question 20. M is the point 4, 2. And N is the point 2, 1. Calculate the gradient of the straight line MM. And now, the gradient of a line, we have a formula for it. Gradient is y2 minus y1 over s2 minus x1. This is the formula for gradient. Take note, my noble students, because in mathematics we deal with formula. Some questions without the formula, it will be difficult for you to solve it. So we have our first coordinate as 4, 2. That's the first point. And n we have 2, 1. So our first coordinate takes x1, y1. Here is s2, y2. So take note, always the first variable will take x1, y1, and the second variable will take s2, y2. So what is y2? We have y2 as what? 1. 1 minus y1 is what? 2. Over s2 is what? 2. Minus s1, 4. So 1 minus 2 is what? Negative 1. Over 2 minus 4 is what? Negative 2. So it cancels, we have what? 1 over 2. The answer is D. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Sorry, I didn't underline this one. The answer was B, which is 4 centimeters. It's 4 centimeters. Now let's move to question 21. 21. Express the number 0.00630075 correct to 3 significant figures. Always significant figures start from the first non-zero number. And non-zero number, it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you see, always if you see 0 in between, you count it as significant figure like this. 2, 1, 3, 0, 8. This will be counted as significant figure. But if 0 starts, you start counting your significant figure from what? 1, 2. That's the first non-zero digit. Now, they say 3 significant figures. So you see we have 0 starting. So this means you start from 6. So you have 1, 2, 3. And always you check the next number. Once it starts from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you round 1 and add it to this 0, it becomes 1. If here was 4, this means you cannot round it. Always if it's 5 to 9, that's when you round it. So the 3 significant figures end at 0, but you check the next number, whether it starts from 5 to 9. If it's less than 5, you won't round it. So we have 0.00631. Our answer is C. Is C. 22. What is the proof set of 7x squared is equal to 21x? This question is not difficult. So solution. 7x squared is equal to 21x. You have been asked to solve for x. So you move the 21x to the left hand side of the equation. So it becomes 7x squared minus 21x equal to 0. We want to find x. Now you factorize. What is the common factor and the common variable here? We have 7 as the common factor and x is the variable. It's left with 1x here. Minus 7 goes into 21. How many? 3 equal to 0. So we have 7x is equal to 0. This will equate 0 and this one will equate 0. So you divide through by 7. We have our first answer as 0 because 0 divided by any number is 0. We also have x minus 3 equal to 0. So we have x is equal to 0 plus 3. So x is equal to 3. So we have our answer. We have 1 as 0 and 1 as 3. Let's go and check. So our answer is B. So it's not difficult. Express 27 base 10 as a binary numeral. This is the same as a base 2. If they want to confuse you, they will bring this binary. It's the same as base 2. So you should know another name for base 2 is what? The binary. This is how you approach it. It becomes 2. So you draw your line, 27. 2 goes into 27, how many? It's what? 13. Remainder 1. So you write your remainder. Now, 2 can also go into 13. So you will be using 2 because they have asked you to change it to base 2. 2 goes into 13, how many? 6. Remainder 1. You bring your 2 again because 2 can go into 6. 2 goes into 6, 3. Remainder 0. You bring your 2 again. 2 goes into 3, how many? 1. Remainder what? 1. You bring your 2. 2 goes into 1, 0. Remainder 1. You repeat the same one. So we have 1, 1. You start reading it like this. So we have 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So 1, 1, 0, 1, 1 base 2. That's our answer. This is our answer. Let's go and check. The answer is C. If you compare it, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1 base 2 is C. Question 24. P175 is the image of point P under a half turn. Half turn is the same as 180 degrees. About the origin, what are the coordinates of P? And this is under transformation, that's rigid motion. We have rigid motion 1 and rigid motion 2. So we have our P1 as 75, but now we want the coordinates of P. But for transformation, we know once it's 180 degrees, that's half turn. The formula is negative x, negative y. And now we have our image as 7, 5. Our image, that's P1, is 7, 5. We want the P. How did we arrive at this 7, 5? This means you use this one. Now, negative 7, negative 5. Negative 7, negative 5. This means once you negate this, once if I change this one, now let's change this one by using this formula. So, negative, negative 7, negative, negative 5. So this becomes what? 7, 5. This means our answer is A. Let me solve for B2. We have 7, neg 5. But the formula is neg x, neg y. So neg x, we know is what? Negative 7. Neg 5, it becomes what? 5. This means it's not correct. So the answer is what? A. Our answer is A. 25. Which of the following mappings is undefined when x is equal to 3? Anytime you hear of undefined, they will give you a numerator and denominator. And always you will equate the denominator to 0. So you see, we have A, B, C, D, but C, we do not have any denominator here. This means C is out. D2, once we equate the denominator to 0, we have x is equal to 0. But they are giving us x is equal to 3. A, let me equate my denominator. X plus 3 is equal to 0. So you solve for x. It becomes x is equal to 0 minus 3. So x is equal to negative 3. But here we have x is equal to 3. Let's solve for this. X minus 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 plus 3. We have x is equal to 3. So our answer is B. Anytime you hear of undefined, you equate the denominator to 0 and you work out. 26. A triangle in which all the sides are equal is called. You see A. For isosceles triangle, 2 of its sides are equal and it also has 2 base angles to be equal. Scalene, none of its sides are equal and also none of its angles are equal. They have different angles altogether. But equilateral triangle has all of its sides to be equal and all the angles too are equal. That's the interior angles. Right angle triangle also has one of its sides to be 90 degrees. So the answer is C. You can meet this in an objective question. Please and please, my noble students, if you meet an objective question and you cannot solve it, please jump to the next question or move on to the next question. Other than that, you will be far behind time. Once you move on to the next question, after completing all the questions, you come back to the questions you couldn't solve, and now you sit down quietly and think through. You see if the questions are 10, you can work 7 out of the 10 and you are through with it. But always, students want to finish question 1 and move on to question 2, question 3, question 4. No. If you do that, you fail in mathematics. Once you read the question 1, 2, 3 times and you cannot solve it, please and please move on. And always, if you are working, please work using a pencil on your question paper. Don't use pen. Once you use pencil, you can erase it and work the other question to there. Let's move on to question 27. Find the truth set of the equation. This is a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation. It's not difficult, students, once you follow Castro. So we have 3x squared plus 5x minus 2 equal to 0. Once you are given this, you multiply this 3 by this 2. 3 by 2, you will get 6. 3 times 2 is what? 6. And you ask yourself, now you see this one is negative, so this means you will get negative 6. Because 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So you will ask yourself, what two numbers, if when you add, you will get 5. And also at the same time, if you multiply, you get negative 6. Now 6, we have 1 times 6 is what? 6. 2 times 3 is what? 6. So once you take 1 and 6, 1 times 6, you see you get 6, positive 6. But the thing too is negative what? 6. So 1. Let me negate negative 6. 1 times negative 6, we are now getting negative 6. But let's add it. 1 plus negative 6. You owe someone 6, you went and paid 1. It's left with negative 5. But the number in the middle is positive 5. This means this won't work. So let's take negative 1 and also positive 6. Negative 1 and positive 6. Negative 1 times 6 is what? Negative 6. And if you add it, you see now you are getting positive 5. This means once you eliminate this and substitute this, you will get the negative 6 and also the positive 5. If you take 2 and 3, it won't work. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. But we have negative 6. So let's take negative 1 and 6. So it becomes 3x squared minus x plus 6x. You add the variable in the middle to it. Minus 2 equal to 0. So you factorize. You group them. You factorize. What is the common one here? It's what? X. 3x into bracket because it's left with 1x. Minus 1. Because x times 1 will give you this x. Plus, what is the common divisor? It's 2. Or common factor. 3x into bracket minus 1 equal to 0. And always if you are solving quadratic equation, the numbers in the bracket, what you see in the bracket, always they are equal. You see we are having 3x minus 1 here. And also 3x minus 1. That's how quadratic equation look like. So you add x plus 2 and you pick one of your brackets, 3x minus 1 equal to 0. But they want an answer. Even though you have solved the equation, but we want an answer. And once you want to solve for your answer, you equate both brackets to 0. So it becomes x plus 2 is equal to 0. And 3x minus 1 equal to 0. X is equal to 0 minus 2. We have x is equal to negative 2. One answer is this. 3x is equal to 0 plus 1. You move 1 here. So 3x equal to 1. So you divide 2 by 3. We have another answer as 1 over 3. So x is equal to negative 2, and also one answer is what? 1 over 3. So it's A. It's not difficult once you know what you are doing. Students, please follow Castro's channel. That's Learn Maths with Castro. Question 28 is also under rigid motion. That's rigid motion 1. Because under rigid motion 1, we have translation and reflection. Take note. K1, 2 net 2 is the image of K under a translation by the vector T equal to negative 3, negative 5. Find the coordinates of K. Anytime you hear of translation, it means add. Translate means to add. So this is what you do. It means this K, that's the coordinates of K. K plus the translation vector will give us K1. This is the formula. K plus translation vector will give us K1, where K is the point. V is the translation vector. I'm trying to simplify it. And K1 is the image. It's simple. We don't know K. Plus what is V? V is the translation vector, negative 3, negative 5. And K1 is what? 2, neg 2. So we solve it. So we have K is equal to 2, neg 2. Minus, this is addition. Once it's moving, it becomes negative. Minus negative 3, negative 5. So we have K is equal to 2 minus minus 3. It becomes 2 minus minus 3. And this one is negative 2 minus minus 5. So 2 minus minus 3 is 2 plus what? 3. And negative 2 plus 5. So what is 2 plus 3? 2 plus 3 we have what? 5. Negative 2 plus 5. You owe someone 2, you went and paid 5. It's what? 3. So the answer is 5, 3. It's D. So always, this question, all the questions here are examinable. So students, take note. All the questions, you can make it in your final examination. Question 29. This question is on set. And set is an interesting topic. Express 1 over root 3, bracket root 6 plus root 12, bracket close, in the form P plus root Q, where P and Q are integers. So this is what you do. Now, you have the question as solution. 1 over root 3, root 6 plus root 12. So you multiply, you use this one to remove the bracket. It becomes 1 over root 3 times root 6 plus 1 over root 3 times root 12. We have now removed the bracket. This one becomes root 6 over root 3. Because 1 times root 6 is root 6, and root 6 is the same as root 6 over 1. Plus 1 times root 12 is root 12 over root 3. And this one can also be written as root. So it can also be written as this. So 6 over 3. You see, I have put all in what? Square root plus root 12 over what? 3. So 3 goes here 1, 3 goes here 2, 3 goes here 1, 3 goes here 4. So we have root 2 plus root 4. What is root 4? It's 2. So it's 2 plus root 2. What is the answer? The answer is P. It's not difficult. So students, as I always say, if you can't solve it, move on to the next question. Let's move on to question 30. Now question 30. This question is on circle theory. In the diagram, PQRS are points on the circle with center O. Angle PQR is equal to 104 degrees. Find angle POR. So we want this angle. And this quadrilateral, we call it cyclic quadrilateral. And always take note that opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. So you see this angle and this angle will add up to 180 degrees. This means angle PQR plus 104 degrees plus angle PSR equal to 180 degrees. So you group like terms, it becomes 180 minus 104 degrees. So angle PSR is equal to 76 degrees. Now we know here to be 76 degrees and we want this angle. And in circle theorem, one theorem is that twice of here, 2 times PSR will give us angle POR. That's one rule. So 2 times, what is angle PSR? Is 76 degrees equal to angle POR. And this time, we are getting 152 degrees equal to angle POR. So angle POR is equal to 152 degrees. Our answer is C. So always take note that opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. So what number should be added to this for us to get 180? It's 76, and twice of this is angle POR. That's why we had our answer as 152 degrees. Question 31 is a fraction. That's simplified. Evaluate 1 whole number 2 over 3 minus bracket open 1 whole number 3 over 4 divided by 2 whole number 5 over 8. You see this question, always you apply board maths. If you meet a question mixed with operations, and for board maths, bracket first. But you realize that this question, they are giving the fractions to you in mixed fraction. And this time you should change the mixed fraction to improper fraction. You change all the fractions to improper fraction. So we have 1 whole number 2 over 3 minus 1 whole number 3 over 4 divided by 2 whole number 5 over 8. So you change all to improper fraction. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 we have 5 over 3 minus 4 times 1 4 plus 3 is 7 over 4 divided by 8 times 2 is 16 plus 5 21 over 8. So you solve for the bracket first because in board maths bracket first. So once we have division sign, you change this one to multiplication. And for this sign to be changed to multiplication, you find the reciprocal of the second fraction. If I say reciprocal, the reciprocal for s over y is y over x. You just turn it upside down. So it becomes 7 over 4 times 8 over 21. 7 goes here 1, 7 goes here 3. 4 goes here 1, 4 goes here 2. So we have 5 over 3 minus 1 times 2 is what? 2. Over 1 times 3 is what? 3. So I'll finish working out my bracket. And the bracket, the value I have is 2 over 3. And for subtraction of fraction, what you do is that you find your LCM. The LCM here is 3 because it has the same denominator. It has the same denominator. So it becomes 3 goes into 3, how many? 1. 1 times 5 is what? 5. minus 3 goes into 3, how many? 1. 1 times 2 is what? 2. So 5 minus 2 is 3 over 3. And if it cancels out, it becomes what? 1. Our answer for question 31 is 1. One whole number. 32. Solve 3x over 2 minus 5x over 3 equal to 1. This is linear equation involving fraction. Linear equation involving fraction. For linear equation involving fraction, the principle is that you find the LCM. Now this is the question. 3x over 2 minus 5x over 3 equal to 1. Our LCM is 6. So you multiply through by the LCM. Minus 6 times 5x over 3 equal to 6 times 1. Because this is 1 10, this is another 10, this is also another 10. We have 3 10s. 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 3. So 9x minus 3 goes here 1, 3 goes here 2. 10x equal to 6. This from this we are getting negative x equal to 6. And the coefficient of x is 1. But here is negative 1. So you divide through by negative 1. Here 2 by negative 1. This will cancel this. So x is equal to x over 1 is the same as x. S is equal to negative 6. Our answer is negative 6. So it's A. Question 33. What is the image of negative 4, 3 under the mapping sy maps to 3y 2x minus y? This is special mapping under rigid motion. This is special mapping. So xy maps to 3y 2x minus y. And they are giving you negative 4, 3 as our points or coordinates. So this means negative 4 is for x and 3 is for y. It explains it. So what is y? Y is 3. This means where y is, you substitute. Where s is, you substitute negative 4. So 3, 3, we have 2. X here is negative 4. Minus y is 3. So 3 times 3 we have 9. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8 minus 3. So we have 9, 11. So our answer is 9, 11. D. 34. Factorize 36 k squared minus 49p squared. This is under algebraic expression. And here we will apply difference of two squares. And for difference of two squares, if I give you something like this, a squared minus b squared is the same as a minus b, a plus b. If I give you x squared minus y squared is the same as x minus y, x plus y. But there are instances they will give you a perfect square. And when I say perfect square, 4 is a perfect square, 9 is a perfect square, 16 is a perfect square. And for 9 to be a perfect square, you ask yourself, what are the two same numbers? If when you multiply, you get 9. It's 3 times 3 is equal to 9. 16 2 becomes 4 times 4. Now, let's use this understanding to solve this. We are to factorize 36 k squared minus 49p squared. Now, do we have a perfect square here? We have 36 is a perfect square and 49 is a perfect square. So two numbers multiplying to get 36, two same numbers is 6, because 6 times 6 is 36. And here too, we have 7 times 7 is what? 49. So we have 6k minus 7p. We have another bracket 2 to be 6k plus 7p. Once you have negated 1, you will find the positive for the other bracket. This is the difference of two squares, but this time in factorization form, they want you to factorize. That's why they gave you perfect square. So you can be given k squared minus p squared. You see, I have now eliminated this one. And Q squared minus P squared becomes Q minus P, Q plus P. But you see, I added the perfect square to it. That's why I'm getting this answer. So our answer is D. Our answer is D. Question 35. In the diagram, this is under angles. Angles, that's parallel lines. In the diagram, PQ is parallel to RS. Angles X and Y are called this and this. They are called what? Co-interior angles. No, because we know co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. These are co-interior angles. This means this plus this angle will give you 180. Another co-interior angle too is here. Corresponding angles, no. This corresponds to this, and this too corresponds to this. So the number at the top, if here is 80, here too is 80, that's corresponding angles. Let's move on to vertically opposite angles. And for vertically opposite angles, they are equal. This means A is vertically opposite to B, and C is also vertically opposite to D. Let us look at this chart. This is vertically opposite to this angle. This means if I give you here as 40, Y is what? 40. Alternate angles. For alternate angles, we get a zigzag. And for alternate angles are equal. So you see our zigzag. This means this is equal to this. So our answer is D. We have alternate angles as our answer. So take note for the definitions. 36. Find the length of. We have to find the length. And another name for length, take note. Another name for length is magnitude. You can be asked to find magnitude or modulus. So length, the formula for length is x squared plus y squared, given a question like this. So what is x? You are given negative 5, 10. This is x and this is y. So you eliminate this and you substitute s and y into the formula. So it becomes negative 5 squared plus 10 squared. So we have 25 plus 100. So square root of 125. You can't get an answer for this. Square root, if it was square root of 9, you can get what? 3. Square root of 16, you can get what? 4. But if you check your answers, you can leave your answer in third form. So you ask yourself, what two numbers, if when you multiply, you get 125. But 1 should be a perfect square. So we have 25 times 5 is what? 125. This is the same as square root of 25 times square root of 5. Square root of 25, we are getting 5 root 5. So our answer is C. You take notes. What is the rule for the mapping below? We want the rule or the formula. And we know these are x values and these are y values. So in an objective, if they give you a question like this, we will use the x values to get the y values. So you take A. We have y is equal to 3x plus 2. Once you take 2x plus 2 and you work it out, you get the first one as 2. If you take x to be 0, when x is 1, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 2, you are getting 4. So this means this is out. Let's take this. 2 raised to the power x plus 2. So 2 raised to the power 0 plus 2. And any number raised to the power 0 is 1 plus 2. Is 2. So you see, for A, B, C, we are getting the first value. So this means you should work about 3 or 4 numbers. So 2, 1 plus 2. 2 raised to the power 1 is 2 plus 2. We are getting 4. So our answer is A. Is A. So you just take the formula and you substitute the s values, but you should work out for the first 3 numbers or first 4 numbers. Question 38. Express 0.315 as a fraction in its lowest term. This is the key thing. They didn't say express 0.315 as a fraction. If they said express it as a fraction without bringing its lowest term, this means now we have 0.315. And this, we have how many decimal places? 3. And 3 decimal places always is over 1,000, 3 zeros. If it was 2 decimal places, this means you get 2 zeros, so it becomes 31 over 100. If it's 1 decimal place, it's over 10, 1 0. If they said express this as a fraction, this is your answer. But this time they are saying reduce it to its lowest term. So you cancel it out. You find a common factor or common divisor. 5 goes here 63 and 5 goes here 200. There is no common divisor again or common factor. So our answer is B. Take note. 39. If OP is equal to 8 neg 9 and OQ is equal to 3 5, find PQ. Find PQ. This is a column vector. It's under column vectors. And for column vectors, if you are given vector AB, it is the same as OB minus OA. Vector CB is the same as OD minus OC. It's not addition. This is a principle in maths. So PQ becomes OQ minus OP. This is a column vector. What is OQ? OQ is 3, 5 minus OP is 8, neg 9. So we have 3 minus 8. 5 minus 9. And 3 minus 8 is what? Negative 5. 5 minus 9. When 2 subtraction signs meet in the middle, it becomes positive. So 5 plus 9 becomes 14. So the answer is negative 5, 14. Negative 5, 14. So it's negative 5, 14. You leave it in vector 4 because we are dealing with vectors. So always this is column vector. Negative 5, 14. Question 40. In the diagram, POQ, MON, and OL are straight lines. Angle QOR is equal to 60 degrees. Calculate the value of x. You can see clearly that this is vertically opposite to this. So under vertically opposite angles, they are what? Equal. So you see, they have given you S60 and 130. But if they gave you something like this, you see this is simple. This means A is what? 80. But this time they have divided it into 2. This means what number should be added to 60 for us to get 130? So you do it like this. It becomes x plus 60 equal to 130 degrees. So x is equal to 130 minus 60 degrees. We have our x to be 70 degrees. Because 70 plus 60 you get 130 degrees. And vertically opposite angles are equal. The exterior angles of a hexagon are s degrees each. Find the value of x. This is under polygons. And always take note that exterior angles add up to 360 degrees. For exterior angles, it sums up to 360 degrees. We know a hexagon has 3 sides. This is a hexagon. This is a hexagon. This is a hexagon, and these are its interior angles, but we are talking of exterior angles here. So this means each exterior angle is x, 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 and here is x. So it becomes x plus x plus x plus x plus x plus x equal to 360 degrees. So the exterior angles sum up to 360 degrees. And we know the coefficient of any variable is 1. So we have 6x equal to 360. So we divide through by 6. We have s to be 60 degrees. So our answer is B. And once you substitute this 60 here, 60, 60, 60. Once you sum it up, you get 360 degrees. Write 2.32472 correct to 3 decimal places. 3 decimal places. So always, if you are given something like this, it's not difficult. 2.32472. If you are asked to write this in 1 decimal place, it becomes 2.3. You write 1 dp in section B. You check the next value. If it's more than 4, from 5 to 9, you run it. And you take that number as well. But this is less than 5. That's why I didn't run it. 2 decimal place becomes 2.32. 2 numbers after the decimal point. This is less than 5. You don't run, so 2 dp. Now they want 3 decimal, so 2.32. So 3 numbers after the decimal point. You check the 4th number. It's more than what? 4. So you run it. We have 2.325. So our answer is 2.325. Castro is taking his time to explain these objective questions. And always this will guide our students if they are learning certain topics or preparing for their final examination or term exams. Question 43. For what value of x is the function x over 3x minus 2 undefined? We have x over 3x minus 2. So if you meet a question like this, you equate the denominator to what? 0. So it becomes 3x minus 2 equal to 0. It's a principle. So 3x equal to 0 plus 2. 3x equal to 2. You divide through by 3. We have x is equal to 2 over 3. So our answer is B. If they even give you 3 over x, find the value of x, it becomes x is equal to 0 because I say always equate it to 0. Question 44. Evaluate cube root of 3 raised to the power 6 times 5 raised to the power 3. Leaving your answer as prime factors. Leaving your answer as prime factors. Always if you are given something like this, square root of 2. Square root of 2, this is the same as 2 raised to the power half. Square root of 3 is the same as 3 raised to the power half. Cube root of 8 is the same as 8 raised to the power 1 over 3. Cube root of 12 is the same as 12 raised to the power 1 over 3. And 4th root of 19 is 19 raised to the power 1 over 4. I want you to appreciate it. So now I have given you this question. This is how you tackle it. It's the same as 3 power 6 times 3 power 6 times 1 over 3 because I said this is the same as 3 power 1 over 3 times 5 power 3 times 1 over 3 because they are all in cube root. 3 goes here 1, 3 goes here 2. It becomes 3 raised to the power 2 times 3 will cancel this, so 5 raised to the power 1 is the same as 5. So 3 raised to the power 2 times 5. Our answer is D. Take note. The answer is D. Now, question 45. The equation of straight line is y plus 2x minus 2 equal to 0. What is the gradient? So this is the equation of a straight line formula. Y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the gradient, c is constant. But now we want this m, and they have given x y plus 2x minus 2 equal to 0. So you move all this here and it will be left with y. So y is equal to 0 minus 2x plus 2. Because this crosses, it becomes negative. This crosses, it becomes positive. Y is equal to 0 minus 2x is what? Is negative 2x plus 2. So we have y is equal to negative 2x plus. What is the gradient? The gradient is negative 2 because m is negative 2. So it's A. Our answer is A. The bearing of a point Q from another point P is 40 degrees. Find the bearing of P from Q. Always, if you are given a question like this, if this one is less than 180, you add 180 to it. But from 180, this means if they give you 190, 200, you subtract 180 from it. But if they give you 20 degrees, 100 degrees, 150 degrees, you add 180 degrees to it. This means you add 180 degrees to 40 degrees, we are getting 220 degrees. But if they gave you 220 here, you subtract 180 from it, you get 40 degrees. Take note. It's not difficult. Certain objective questions, it takes seconds if you know what you are doing. Calculate 32 minus 18 mod 4. This is on modulo, and for modulo, only remainders are written as our answers. What is 32 minus 18? It's 14. 14 mod 4. And 14 mod 4 is the same as 14 divided by 4. 4 goes into 14, 3, remainder 2. Our answer is 2, because in mod we deal with remainders. Instead of them to give you 14 mod 4, they intentionally gave you 32 minus 18 mod 4. So you must simplify this one before. Question 48. Find the value of x in the pentagon below. The value of x. And always, if you are given a question, like this, you first find the sum of interior angles. After that, you getting your sum of interior angles, you sum the interior angles and you equate it to your sum of interior angles. Now this is a pentagon, and the sum of interior angle formula is 180 into bracket n minus 2. So it's 180 n minus 2. What is n? N is 5. So 5 minus 2. So 180, we get 540 degrees. You getting the sum of interior angle, you will add this one and equate it to 540. So we have 2x plus 2x plus 3x plus x plus x equal to 540 degrees. So this plus this is 4x, 7x, 8x, 9x equal to 540 degrees. So 9. So x is equal to 60 degrees. Our answer is 60. This question can also be written as the interior angles of a polygon are 2x, 2x, 3x, x and x, 5x. In case you meet in the statement form, it's the same as this. Take note. Question 49. Simplify. This is under algebraic expression. Simplify 2 over k minus 3 minus 3 over k plus 2. If you are given a question like this, you first find your LCM. And the LCM is q minus 3, q plus 2. So it becomes q minus 3, q plus 2. Q minus 3 will cancel this one. It's left with q plus 2. So 2q plus 2. This goes into this. This will cancel this one. So it's left with q minus 3. So 2 times q is what? 2q plus 4 minus 3 times q. 3q minus 9 over q minus 3q plus 2. 2q minus 3q is negative q. 4 minus 9 is negative 5 over q minus 3q plus 2. What's the answer? Our answer is D. You see, once you know what you are doing, it becomes simple. Question 50 is on variation. And for variation, we have direct variation, inverse variation, partial variation, and joint variation. Variation is an interesting topic and is one of the simplest topics in all mathematics. Take note. They just want you to choose the formula for this. F is directly proportional to T cubed. Now, directly proportional, this is the symbol they always use, to T cubed. This is T cubed. And inversely is over S squared. And for variation, we have the constant of proportionality. For constant of proportionality, I will introduce it here. So once I bring equal, it becomes F is equal to K T cubed over S squared, where K is constant of proportionality. But now they want this one. The formula is G, T cubed over S squared. This one is on statistics. And statistics, always this type of question, you get it. You will meet this type of question in your exam. So take note, my noble students. Castro will make mathematics simple. The table shows the distribution of the masses of parcels in the local post office. Use it to answer questions 51 to 53. They have given you this table. And they have asked you to find the median. Always the median. Median formula is n over 2 or n plus 1 over 2. We use this once the frequency is an even number. And we use this if the total frequency is odd number. Take a note. Now let's add our frequency. This is F and this is X. Take note. 3 plus 2 is 5. 16. This is 33, 39, 40. So we have our total frequency as 40, but it's even. So you choose this formula. It becomes 40 over 2. 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 20. So you reach the 20th position. 20th position, that's median. So 20th position, you start adding your frequencies. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 11 is 16. So 20, it falls here. Because 16 plus 17 is 33. So 20 falls here. This means the median. The median, we have 8 kg. Our answer is C. It's not difficult. So if we have maybe 19, the total frequency, you add 1 to it, the formula, so that you work it out. What is the mode of the distribution? So for mode, you always find your highest frequency. You check your table, what is the highest frequency? The highest frequency is what? 17. For 17 is the greatest frequency. And we don't choose the frequency as our mode. If you don't take care or if you are not careful, you choose 17. It's not true. You match the 17, you trace it to the mass. We are having what? 8. The mode 2 is what? 8. Take note. Question 53. Find in kg the mean mass. And for mean, you draw your table. You draw your frequency table. We have X. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have our frequency. We have Fx. If you don't draw in this table, it becomes difficult. So we have 3 here, 2 here, 11, 17, 6, 1. Fx means x times f. That's why I labeled here f. I labeled the first one x. Always your table, the first row is your x values. The second row is your f values. 5 times 3, 15. You multiply because x times f is equal to fx. 6 times 2, 12. 7 times 11, 77. 8 times 17, we have 136. you can use your calculator and check. 9 times 6 is 54. 10 times. Now, you add the frequency, it becomes summation of f. Once you add this, you get 40. So summation of fx2, you get 304. If you add them, you can use your calculator and check. Mean, you have the formula. The formula, that's the symbol, as summation of fx over summation of f. What is summation of fx? Is 304 over 40. 2 goes here, 152. 2 goes here, 20. 2 goes here, 76, and 2 goes here, 10. And if you have 76 over 10, this is how you solve it. Once you have this 0, you see this is 10. This 0 means 1 decimal place. So you move it to the left. It becomes 7.6. If it was 76 over 100, because of these 2 zeros, it becomes 2 decimal place. You move 2 zeros. It comes 0.76. You see the shortcut. So our answer is 7.6. C. Let's move on to question 54. I have given you a pie chart. And pie chart, always the angles, it sum up to 360 degrees. The pie chart above shows how a worker spent his December 1990 salary. Use it to answer question 54 and 55. They have given us 120, 20, y, and this symbol. And this symbol is the symbol of right angle. And for right angles, they are equal to 90 degrees. So if you don't know that this is equal to 90 degrees, you can't solve. So to get the angle that represents rent, you add these three angles and you subtract it from 360. You add it and you subtract it from 360. So it becomes 120 plus 90 plus 20. So 360 minus this plus this is 210, 230. So we have 130 here. So our answer is C. Question 55. What fraction of the salary was spent on food? Now they want the fraction spent on food. And we know the food, the angle is 90 degrees over the total angle is 360 degrees. This cancels this. 9 goes here 1, 9 goes here 4. So you should reduce it to its lowest term. The answer is D. 9 over 4. Question 56. What is the subset for the set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Now, subset, the formula is 2 raised to the power n, where n is the number of elements. What is the number of elements in this set? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our n is 5. And 2 raised to the power 5 is the same as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32. Is B. 57. 3 people shared an amount of Ghana cedi 300,000 cedis in the ratio 1:2:3. Find the highest amount received. This is under ratio and proportion. And always under ratio and proportion, the first step or the first thing you should do is that you will find your total ratio. And the total ratio becomes 1 plus 2 plus 3. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So to get your highest share, you take the highest ratio, which is 3, over the total ratio times the amount, which is Ghana cedi 300,000. If they want you to find the lowest amount received, it's 1. The lowest ratio over the total ratio times the amount. Or if they want you to find the difference between the highest and the lowest share, you find this one, the amount for this, and the amount for this. After that, you subtract the lowest share from the highest share. 3 goes here 1, 3 goes here 2. 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 150. So we have 150,000. Our answer is C. Our answer is C. 58. O is the center of the circle. PQR. PR is a diameter and RPQ is 35 degrees. Find PRQ. Now we want PRQ. We want this. Always we know a diameter subtends an angle to a part of the circumference, and the angle it makes is 90 degrees. So angle PQR. Angle PQR is equal to 90 degrees. Now we want PRQ, we want this. And once we know this, we know this, we know this, the interior angles in the triangle add up to 180 degrees. So it becomes 35 degrees plus 90 degrees plus angle PRQ is equal to 180 degrees. So 125 plus, let's choose a variable for this, equal to 180 degrees. So x is equal to 180 minus 125. So x is equal to 55 degrees. Is C. So always know that the diameter subtends an angle to touch a point of a circumference and is 90 degrees. The angle it subtends is 90 degrees. So take note. Question 59. For what value of x is 3 raised to the power 2x is equal to 1 over 81? This is indices. This is indices. So you change this 81 to base 3. Because for equation of indices, you change it to the same base. It becomes 3 raised to the power 4. Because 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 will give us 81. And once we are having something like this, we call something inverse. If you have 1 over a, is the same as a raised to the power negative 1. 1 over 2 is the same as 2 raised to the power negative 1. So this one, it becomes 3 raised to the power negative 4. And for indices, if the bases are the same, you equate the powers or exponents. So 2x is equal to negative 4. You divide 2 by 2. So we have x to be negative 2. X is negative 2. It's B. You see, we are getting our answers. The last question, question 16. A man bought a car for 1,500 cedis. He later sold it at a profit of 20%. What was his selling price? This is under business maths. And under business maths, we have a lot to do there. You have commission, profit and loss, depreciation, high purchase. There are many. But now, this question, they have asked you to find the selling price. And to find the selling price when given the profit percent. To find the selling price when given the profit percent, it becomes 100 plus P percent over 100 times the cost price. If they gave you loss, and you are asked to find the selling price, it becomes 100 minus L percent over 100 times CP. Let's take note. That's the formula for the selling price. And cost price too is 100 over 100 plus P percent if you are giving profit percent times selling price. Also, if you are giving loss, it becomes 100 over 100 minus L percent times selling price. Take note. But we want the first one. We want the first one. It becomes 100 plus profit percent is 20 over 100 times cost price. We have 1,500. So Ghana cedi 1,500 cedis. So it becomes 120 over 100 times Ghana cedi 1,500 cedi. This will cancel this. This will cancel this. So we have 120 by 15. 120 by 15, you will get 1,800. So you can use your calculator and check. Thank you. And there are many objectives. Castro will bring them out. This has covered certain topics. Please and please, we are not done with objectives. This is the first session for the objectives Castro is giving out to students. Thank you and have a nice day.